Tonight, Effingham County residents are getting new details about a proposed OpenAI data center and how a facility like it could impact their community. Questions remain about water use, noise, and the project's effect on nearby homes. WSAV's Isabella Baez has how experts and county leaders addressed some of those concerns.
Tonight, dozens of residents and county officials came together to learn more about the type of facility that might be in their backyard. Data centers, a topic that has stirred up a lot of controversy, both locally and statewide. Wednesday night, Georgia Tech professors and researchers led an information session about data centers, not just Project Camellia, the OpenAI data center that is looking to come to Effingham County, but other data centers across the country, sharing details about how these facilities work in general, and highlighted certain aspects that can be found in Project Camellia, like a closed-loop water system.
Which means that there is no cooling tower where you're evaporating water. Instead, it's going to a dry cooler that has these large fans blowing air on it.
A concern amongst residents that was addressed is how the cooling systems will be affected during the hot and humid Georgia weather.
Right, so you will need to run an air conditioning-like unit, but an industrial-scale chiller, in order to produce cooling.
County leaders also providing updates to the project, saying they will use battery-powered generators and will place sound perimeters across the border. County leaders say they are working to create an ordinance for data centers, one this project will also have to follow.
One of the things that we're looking at is taking all of these requirements that they've already reached, the closed loop and the noise, the monitoring, the no only surface water, etc. Put them in an ordinance, and even though it's being done after the fact, they will abide by it.
Effingham County is also planning on hosting a data center work session on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the administration complex. Reporting in Rincon, I'm Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3, on your side.
And there's another new development connected to the proposed OpenAI data center. Georgia Power says its contract to serve the Effingham County project has now been approved by the State Public Service Commission. The agreement includes 3,200 megawatts of new power demand and requires OpenAI to pay the full cost of the infrastructure needed to serve the facility. OpenAI has also committed to reducing some of its energy use during times of high demand on the power grid. Georgia Power says OpenAI and other large energy users are expected to generate around $950 million a year in savings for consumers. The company says that could mean about $15 a month in savings for a typical residential customer beginning in 2029. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Savannah city leaders could temporarily block any new large-scale data centers from moving forward. City Council is set to vote tomorrow on a 5-month moratorium, giving leaders time to decide what rules should be in place if a data center developer comes calling. During that time, city leaders would review Savannah's zoning code and consider what regulations may be needed for future projects. Alderman Nick Palumbo says that makes now the right time to prepare, rather than wait until a project is already on the table.
Savannah is famous for its built environment, but it has a very complicated zoning code to get there. So we got to measure twice and cut once to make sure that we get something that actually works in our zoning system. There's no proposal on the table today, but now's the time to protect the zoning code from the next big one.
And Savannah isn't alone in considering a pause. Chatham County Commissioner Dean Kicklighter says he is proposing a 1-year moratorium on new data centers in the county, and that would only apply to the unincorporated areas of the county, not Savannah or any other municipality. That meeting is set for Friday. For more on Project Camellia, community concerns, latest developments surrounding these centers across the region, head to wsav.com/data centers, and there you can find our continuing coverage and the latest updates as they happen. New information now, 2 people and a pet are dead after a house fire in Bluffton. The fire broke out around 4:15 yesterday afternoon at a home on Cold Creek Pass, while 3 people and 7 pets were inside. Mirjana and David Dizdarevich both died from smoke inhalation. They are both in their 70s. A 3rd person did make it out alive. 1 cat also died in the fire. 3 dogs, 3 other cats were rescued. 1 firefighter was hurt and taken to a hospital, then later released. SLED is now working to find out what caused the fire. Now to Statesboro, where a man has been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting during a Cinco de Mayo celebration. 22-year-old Andrew White was arrested yesterday by U.S. Marshals. White is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Police say White shot and killed 31-year-old Gregory Johnson Jr. and injured a woman near the Azul Tex-Mex restaurant on May 5th. Interim Police Chief Jared Akins told WSAV today that investigators located White after receiving an anonymous tip. Aiken says tips from the public can play a critical role in helping investigators solve cases.
We've got all kinds of ways that you can submit anonymous tips. This came in as an anonymous tip, so that individual never has to go to court, but it helps us investigate those cases and arrest fugitives and just a variety of other things. That's somebody that's on the ground with real-time information and intelligence, and that's what we need.
Anyone with additional information about the shooting is asked to contact Senior Detective Short at the number on your screen, or you can submit an anonymous tip through the Statesboro Police Department website. Savannah police investigating after 2 flock cameras were vandalized at the entrance of a Southside neighborhood. According to the police report, the cameras were found cut down near Clubhouse Drive last Friday morning and appeared to have been sawed off. The HOA representative told police that he was concerned the damage could be connected to a recent discussion about the cameras on social media. Police have not said whether they have a suspect, and the report does not identify who damaged the cameras. Investigators checked other surveillance cameras in the area and were able to identify the license plate of the last car to pass one of the flock cameras before it was destroyed. Police say it's not clear whether that car is connected to the vandalism. The damaged cameras were collected as evidence as the investigation continues. WSAV is on your side tonight as families raise concerns about conditions inside a Savannah senior living community. They say their loved ones are dealing with mold, pests, and other maintenance problems, and they're frustrated with how those concerns are being handled. WSAV's Isley Herschel takes us inside.
When a family member showed up at the Sister Court apartment building to clean his mother-in-law's room, what he saw inside shocked him.
Mold, roaches, dirt, no management.
These are just a few issues Greg Freeman has noticed about his mother-in-law's apartment complex.
People that are immobile, the elevators that do not work and haven't worked for a very long time. So it's just very concerning.
He says parts of the building smell strongly of mold, have dirt on the carpets, and are without air conditioning. Freeman says he's frustrated because management has been anything but helpful in dealing with these problems.
I've been here for over 10 years. In and out of this place. I've never seen a cleaning crew. I've never seen any maintenance whatsoever. There's just no presence of anything. I noticed there were 5 people waiting in the waiting room today to talk to the one person that was supposed to be here for hours.
We reached out to those that work at the Sister Court building and to the company that owns it. The company responded to me in a statement saying, quote, "National Church Residences takes pride in maintaining our communities and providing quality, affordable housing for seniors. When specific concerns are identified and reported to our on-site team, we work to evaluate and address them as appropriate," end quote. They added that they encourage residents to reach out to property managers directly with concerns. Sister Court's property manager did not get back to me on this matter. Freeman is upset with the way the building is run and the problems his mother-in-law is facing.
This is Savannah. You're supposed to care for your fellow citizen, and here it's definitely not.
Freeman says he's currently looking for a new place for his mother-in-law to stay because of the issues in this complex. In Savannah, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.
New tonight, law enforcement officers from Georgia and South Carolina are teaming up ahead of the Labor Day holiday weekend. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety held its Hands Across the Border event in Savannah, part of a 35-year effort to prevent deadly crashes. Officers from state and local agencies came together as part of the week-long enforcement campaign across the Southeast. The focus is on impaired and distracted driving, along with speeding and seatbelt violations. Officials say drivers can expect an increased law enforcement presence through Labor Day. The campaign started in Southeast Georgia in 1991 and has since expanded to include Georgia's neighboring states.
No matter what state you go in, you're going to see the same thing from now through Labor Day. You're going to see intense enforcement, you're going to see DUI enforcement, seatbelt enforcement, distracted driving enforcement. We're going to be out in full force through the Labor Day weekend.
Law enforcement says the goal is not just to make traffic stops, it's to prevent serious crashes and deaths. Officers will continue sobriety checkpoints and other traffic enforcement efforts across Georgia leading into the holiday weekend.